Wanted to do a quick video today since it's kind of a slow day. As you can see, we've got clouds hovering in the mountains, hugging the mountains, creating a great scenery. We're pretty encased and surrounded by the clouds today, and it's pretty rainy out, and we're kind of at a stall out. Funny as that, because I get the screws for the Earthship shed there, and then we get this weather. Luckily, it's only for the weekend, so nothing too bad, but it's a stall out. But wanted to take the chance to give a little heads overview of the addition as well as the annex. And we've got the house. Oh, as I slip down the hill here, it's pretty mucky. But this is our other project that we'll be working on, because got a lot of weeds back here. But we got all this dirt that was bermed up back here, and we actually didn't finish the berming because we needed to actually push a lot more of it on the side of the house, and then I needed to build more roof structure and support off of this end, so we're catching more water and then funneling it to our gutter off the back of the house to our cistern. Which, yeah, through this rainstorm we collected a lot of water, so yeah, we want to bury this a bit more too, and have it a bit better covered as well. So another project, and now we're just waiting on the weather to get a little bit better. The rain has stopped for a little bit here. Well, it's kind of sprinkling out. My phone's getting a little wet, but yeah, nothing too exciting today. We're kind of hanging out in the house, keeping warm, and just watching YouTube and movies. It's kind of that day, and doing some planning and thinking about stuff as well. So I don't just twiddle my thumbs. But we've caught, just from this little storm, we caught a lot of water, and I'll say the addition has definitely helped out a whole lot this year, especially for how rainy it's been. So we've caught, I'll have to do a separate, maybe a little clip of the tank that's in the annex, but we have a EPDM lined. It's kind of like out here, but it's inside the annex there, and that holds about 2,000 gallons, something like that inside. And then we had got this other tarp a while ago from a friend down the road, and then we have our other EPDM pond here that the ducks had been swimming in. I think they're over on the other side. But we've got this one that should hold a whole lot more water. So this is kind of the other big project, is getting this all set up. We need more tires, and basically to mound up and build this tank or cistern or pond, whatever you want to call it up, and do a lot more taking weeds off. But we're going to stretch a lot more tarpage and liner across all this back mound, so that we're going to maximize catching as much water as we can, funneling it to this. My muddy hands from slipping down the hill. But yeah, we're going to fix up this whole back area and get all of this super nice mounded. And even like this backside, we're going to try and cover, all around the house and all this. Oh, as I don't slip again, here we go. So we're going to mount, try and get all of this back mount from behind the house for catching water, and, especially for going through the winter with the snow. So it should, help keep the mounds a bit drier is a bonus, but also catching a lot more water. So, that'll spread our square footage out by a whole lot. So, I think total wise, we're maybe getting to like 700 square feet, if even. I think I need to do some measurements on that, but we still catch a decent amount of water, and especially adding a lot more tarps and liners and stuff like that to catch as much rain as we can, because we need it out here. We're technically high mountain desert, so our average is about, I think, 12 inches, 11 to 12 inches of rain annually. So we don't get much, so we need to collect as much as possible. So that's why we have this one. And then we have the front pond, the pond up front that we are, that's another video I need to do, because that's another project we're doing as well, with working on tires and adding more onto the Earthship of, the front greenhouse basically. So, but we've lived off rainwater out here the last 6 years. So, this is a whole lot more water that we're catching this year. And I mean, quite frankly, most of the water that we use goes towards, gardening back here with Nika's garden that she's still um, she's digging up some plants to try and bring them inside and see if she can grow them throughout the winter. So that'll be a cool experiment and see how that goes, especially because the house seems to be staying a whole lot warmer since we mounted up a lot more from last year. So thank our friends that gave us a whole bunch of this dirt. They dropped a lot of the dirt off for us, so we didn't have to excavate or do anything for that, which is nice. But thought I'd give you a little update though. Since it's raining, I'm not doing too much. And, we're even days like this, we're sitting inside. At least we are catching water. So that's what we're doing today. So, I mean, that right there, that's a couple hundred gallons, I think, if not more, just sitting right there. It looks pretty shallow, but that's a lot of water because it's a pretty spread out area. It's a big area. So, yep, this is the next project is getting all of this back buried a bit more and adding more tarp and EPDM basically to mound up, all this hillside. And, you'll see how much water we can maximize out here. So, and that'll make up for all of the plants and gardens as well as the animals and the dogs, so all this water will be able to sustain everybody from now on, I think, and especially once we add, for all the tarp to the back burying. So it's going to help us a whole lot in the end, but it's getting chilly outside, so I'm going to go back inside. Just thought I'd update on this other project since I needed to do that. So stay tuned for working on this area. I'll get more time lapses up. I think people like the time lapses, so we'll get more time lapse stuff up if I can get the proper setup for that. So stay tuned.